Okay, so I just got done watching the anime Gangsta. It's a 12-episode anime by the now defunct studio Manglobe. They went out of, business. They went bankrupt, I think, during making this show or at the end of making this show. And it really sparked something in my mind. And this isn't going to be a review of Gangsta as much as I could talk about Gangsta for a while. Ultimately, if you do want to know about this, I'll say it starts off really fucking strong. And by the end, between studio problems and them just kind of doing I don't fucking know what, it was like, whoa, towards the end. But it starts off really strong and it's really cool. Go read the manga pretty much. And the ending of this anime is one thing that, like, I've been through it so many times in so many different instances, and I'm really annoyed with it. And what I'm talking about, and most anime, we need to be clear about this before I get into the meat of the discussion. We need to be clear about this. Most anime are just big commercials, promotional tools. Occasionally you have things that is a work of art. People put their heart, body, and soul into it. All that good stuff. But a lot of it is just, hey, let's sell some merchandise. Let's sell some DVDs. Let's sell some Blu-rays. Let's get some ratings. Let's do all of that good stuff. But it's never really about, hey, let's make a really nice piece of work that from start to finish, it has a great ending, and all that good shit. It's just not the case with most anime nowadays, especially nowadays. Maybe back in the day they could get away with whatever because, like, anime made more money because there was more children in Japan. It really goes down the rabbit hole. I know you probably think, what is children in Japan? But it has to do a lot with the system in Japan and everything going on over there. But the ending of Gangsta, and I'm not going to spoil it, but essentially it was, fuck you, go read the manga. And I hate that. Yo, like, raise your hand, even though I can't see you. I wish I could see you right now so I can see how many hands are raised. But raise your fucking hand if you absolutely hate that shit. Now, granted, most anime aren't going to have a completed ending because most anime are adapted from either a visual novel or light novel or a manga. They're not going to have a completed ending unless it gets a rare occasion of a fateful adaptation or whatever. It just doesn't really happen, especially, again, nowadays. We don't really get that because a lot of things are still ongoing as they're adapting the source material or whatnot. But, man, it just felt like a slap in the face at the ending of Gangsta, because without spoilers, because again, go watch it if you want to watch it, don't watch it or whatever, I will say it essentially ends in a way where it's like we're in the middle of some crazy shit going on, and hey, there's a character kind of injured, he's laying in the rain, oh, show's over. What the fuck? There was one more serious offender of this, and I'll tell you right now, Inuyasha. And it wasn't until they did Final Act, and the only reason we got to get Final Act was because the manga was such a sensation. That's Rumiko Takahashi's biggest work to date. She hasn't been able to follow up with something as big, and she probably never will be, because Inuyasha was huge over here in North America. I'm sure it was huge in Japan as well, and that's the reason why they eventually did the Final Act. So they redeemed themselves with Final Act, but for the longest, we had, I believe, 175 episodes of Inuyasha, and it ended with literally telling us, if you enjoyed this anime, continue on with the story while reading the manga. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to choke somebody. So you telling me I bought all the seasons? I remember it was on sale, so I was like, yo, I've always wanted to really get more into Inuyasha. I'm gonna give it a shot. I bought all the seasons of Inuyasha at the time. Again, mind you, this is prior to Final Act. I bought all the seasons. I marathoned it. It took me, I don't know, a few weeks to a month to really get through all of it because, almost every night I would have a binge of Inuyasha or whatever. And you telling me after 175 episodes, which a lot of them is grueling hearing, Inuyasha, Kagome, Inuyasha, Kagome, Naraku. I gotta go read the manga now? That's how I gotta finish this? You started me, you hooked me. It's kind of like fucking, I don't know, getting somebody addicted to a drug and then saying, you gotta use a different form of the drug now if you want to keep going, and it's not as into the experience as this one was. And I'm like, what? Because, if you watch 175 episodes or something, regardless of how awesome the manga is, you're used to that experience, especially if you don't read the manga, you don't follow the manga. So transitioning a lot of the times for me, maybe people are different, hey, to each his own, whatever, it's a little bit fucking annoying to go from, I've been watching this every night, binging it, 175 episodes, to jumping to, oh, now let me read it. It's like, I was enjoying my anime experience, you know what I'm saying? I was enjoying the colors, the voices, all that cool shit, the action, whatever. What happened? And that's really fucking annoying. I really, really hate anime-only endings that essentially tell you, fuck you, go read the manga. Because anime sometimes, but there's different purposes for anime, because some people will tell you that an anime's main purpose is to sell the manga. That's not true. Yes, there's companies like the publishing company, let's just say Shueisha, Shogaku, Ganko, Dansha, which I'm dropping on a lot of knowledge in case you don't know. They want to use this anime to promote the manga so they get more money from the manga sales or whatever. However, the anime studios, their main goal is to sell the DVDs, sell the Blu-rays, sell merchandise, get money from that and shit like that. That's their goals. You want to achieve your fucking goal. How about you make something, which again, maybe the publishing companies get in the way a lot of time. Maybe they say, no. We don't want that to be all wrapped up because then nobody's going to give a fuck about buying the manga. So don't do it that way. So maybe that's a possibility. But if you're selling a product and you're trying to put it out there, hey, this anime, go check it out, blah, blah, blah. Give us a fucking ending that doesn't require us to jump to the manga if we want to stop with it and we don't want to get into the manga. Don't get me wrong. 9 times out of 10, we know this is not a myth. The manga is usually better than the anime with almost every case. It just is. You know, there's rare exceptions. Like, I would argue Yu Yu Hakusho, the anime does it better than the manga. I would argue to a certain degree, especially art-wise, definitely Hunter x Hunter, anime over the manga. Although the manga does get pretty graphic and cool as well, whatever. But, like, there are certain cases. But majority of the time, I just want to fucking continue on and finish the story via the experience I was conditioned to. I don't want to transition from one experience to another. I just don't. Call me lazy, whatever the fuck you want, but I was into that experience. So Gangster reignited a flame that I had that really pissed me off from like Inuyasha, and there's a lot of anime that do that. They straight up do. If we didn't immediately, like what, it was a couple weeks, get it, or a couple months maybe at most, an announcement for a season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul, I would have been very, very pissed off, because even though it had a really cool ending, it was left with such a cliffhanger that it's like, there gotta be a season 2, right? You're telling me I gotta read the manga to see how the fuck that plot point ends or whatever? Like, what the fuck? And regardless of how season 2 ended, at the very least we got more. It's an egregious sin to anime viewers alike when you end it off with so many loose threads to the point where, like, this is incomplete. You know what I'm saying? Inuyasha, if we didn't get final act, that was very incomplete, and that was a very big fuck you. Gangsta, as it stands right now, and because Manglobe is down, we'll probably never get another Gangsta anime. Absolute incomplete. Fuck you, go read the manga. And I hate that. That's one of the things I hate the most when I'm watching an anime and I get to the ending. It's like, you give me an anime-only ending if it at least wraps up everything, even if it's kind of crusty. It's like, well, that was crusty, but fuck it, you know, whatever, it's wrapped up. Don't leave me hanging, bro. Don't blue ball the fuck out of me and leave me like, what did you just do to me? I'm just saying. I mean, now that I think about it, shoot. Yeah, there's quite a few popular ones, even more popular than the 2 I described. Anyone heard of a little tiny series? You might have heard of it. It's kind of hated right now because of the way the manga ended, and even the anime being in the circumstances. Bleach! Honestly, ending off the way it ended off after arguably one of the worst arcs in the series, minus filler. Like, the Fullbring arc is probably the hands down worst arc that is canon to the manga and shit like that. It ended with that, and we still have a whole other giant arc with a lot of good stuff to it. I mean, it wasn't complete like crap or anything like that. There was a lot of really good stuff in the 1,000-Year Blood War. That was probably, now that I think about it, the biggest offender. And until we get a confirmation of that, it's always going to be like, huh? I mean, granted, at least it gave us some type of, you know, hey, Ichigo's going to go on more adventures. So it somewhat gave a decent thing. So maybe it's not the biggest egregious offender of this or whatever, but it's still like, bro, 366 episodes, and I guess it's not to the same capacity as Inuyasha and Gangsta, where it's just everything is left loose, because you could probably stop at the end of Bleach. So maybe it doesn't fall exactly with that one, but that's still a pretty big one, you know what I'm saying? Even Hitman Reborn, but again, Hitman Reborn is like Bleach, where you get to the end of the anime, you can kind of feel satisfied. So maybe they're in a different class, but maybe it's just that I'm not a big fan of anime-only endings, period. I don't know. Maybe that's where I'm going with it, but again, the worst offenders is Inuyasha, Gangsta, where it's like, so many things are left, you know, unsaid, and it's like, can you fucking give me more, please? Please and thank you. Kind of curious your experiences. What are some of the worst offenses of this with different series? Like, which series gave you the most big fuck you, go read the manga? The 2 that come to my mind right now is Inuyasha and Gangsta, but I know I've felt this multiple different times with several different anime that is like, bro, give me a fucking somewhat ending. Let me feel at least like, hey, I don't gotta read the manga if I don't want to. Don't make me feel like I'm obligated now just because I gotta see how this shit ends because I'm so into it right now. Come on! That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm Forneworld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And Anime Studios, give us fucking completed endings. Don't give us a fuck you read the manga. That's not cool.